The opinions expressed on the following audio program are solely those of the host and the guests. Burner Podcast is an independently produced, not-for-profit show and is not associated with the Burning Man organization or its subsidiaries. The views expressed are not representative of the entire Burning Man community and are presented here for entertainment purposes only. In short, calm the fuck down. It's just a podcast.
All right, here we go. We're starting.
Sexy Australian is your...
Oh, yeah, the Sexy Australian? I should have done that one.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it. Hey, it's episode number 133, and it is 16 days till the man burns as of this recording. Today's episode is dedicated to Boston-based listener Admiral, that's with 5 L's, which is kind of an eye fuck trying to read on a screen, by the way. But all the L's mean something, and if you ever meet Admiral, you should ask him to play the L game. And on that mysterious note, we're going to get started with today's show. It's been a couple of years since we've done one of these kinds of shows, and today's episode is what normally would be an annual tradition. In the before times, we did one of these every year where a handful of artists and community leaders would get together with me and we would geek the fuck out about this year's upcoming Gerlach Regional. A tradition born, to some extent, out of my own laziness in researching the upcoming Burning Man. So a few years ago, I was like, I wonder what art projects and stuff I should check out at the Burn this year. And then our team at the time was like, why don't you just outsource that project and make like an episode out of it? And thus was born the annual Burner Podcast Pre-playa Planner, which is kind of a mouthful on purpose. And obviously, we didn't get a chance to do these in the past couple of years due to that pandemic thing. But now we're back. And this is the episode that folks most love to listen to on their drive out to the burn. I am sitting today with 3 veteran burners and LA community members, Ginger Fox, Haley Hu, and Athena Demos. This is Ginger Fox and Haley Hu's first appearance on this show, which will make this episode a collector's item, to be sure, as we continue to build on the Burner Podcast cinematic universe. That's the way that I imagine it is. Athena has been on twice, all the way back on episode number 28, and then again on 114.5. Athena's story of her first burn is a fucking legend, let me tell you. You need to go back and listen to episode 28. And I am not exaggerating. This phrase that I'm about to say is something I've heard said by multiple people when discussing the LA community. Athena is LA Burning Man. But this is a rich, long history. It was on episode 28 that she announced that she was officially retiring as the RC. So always exciting to have her back. And now Athena's been working her ass off on spreading the word about virtual reality Burning Man, BRC VR, which she'll tell us a little bit about shortly. Ginger Fox serves her community at Black Rock City in a function that I am it's amazing. But I'm not fucking allowed to talk about on this podcast.
Secret ninja.
Secret. And yes, that is absolutely sass that you are hearing in my voice, because the reasons I can't talk about it on this podcast make complete fucking sense while simultaneously irritating the fuck out of me.
Sorry, buddy.
But let's just say that she does a thing in harm reduction, and that if you meet her on Playa, you'll be delighted. So, Ginger Fox. Haley Hu, who started with large sculptures, works with Jim Henson Studios, has been in a number of artist collectives, has worked for DPW, and is a consistent artist advocate.
I like both.
Yeah.
Activate.
She's an activate with a good eye for all the things that we burners seem to be interested in. I've asked our 3 guests to do some poking around about projects and experiences they're intrigued by this year, so we can all geek the fuck out about Burning Man 2022, Waking Dreams. No DJ set after today's show. I know, weird, right? It is because this episode is meant to be listened to on the road trip, and will come with extensive notes and links to other podcasts and music and multiple Spotify playlists. Or it might also be because your host and your production team are scrambling to finish packing, so they just didn't have the bandwidth. Guess you'll never know. But yes, do check the show notes. There's a lot of them on this one. And this episode is part of kind of a road trip audio toolkit for your road trip back home. Today's episode is entitled The Burning Man 2022 Pre-playa Planner. I go by Mr. Arash, even though nobody calls me Mr. Welcome It's a Burner Podcast.
On the first part of the journey, I was looking at all the life. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rain. The first thing I met was the fly with the balls and the sky with no clouds. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no name.
And then we're on. You're all here. Everybody's here. Everybody starts saying things.
Hello.
We start talking
Hello.
over each other
We
excitedly.
start talking to each other. Woo-hoo! We are going back to the dust.
Oh my God.
Like,
Really soon.
really soon. I know. I think I leave in 4 days. I leave in 4 days.
Wow.
Do I leave in 4?
What is
5. Oh my
5
God. I leave
days.
in 5 days. Oh my God. Don't take away a day.
No, don't. You need that day.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah.
I'm leaving on Monday night, and this is the, I don't know what it is, year 9, 10 or something. It's the first time I'm actually planning out my post Burning Man clothing. like,
Oh.
like vacuum seal it a little bit.
That's
like
an
stuff that doesn't
essential.
get. Yeah, I never did it before. Usually it's just like something I'll throw together last minute, and then I'm like, oh man, I wish I had something clean to wear.
No. I actually bring a pair of shoes, socks, underwear, the whole outfit, and my toiletries. And I put it all in one of those gigantic 5-gallon Ziploc bags.
Yeah.
And I put it all in there and I seal it. And then I fold it over and I duct tape it. And then I write on it with a Sharpie, do not open till post-playa.
Do not break
And
glass
then
in
I
case of
put
emergency.
it
Right.
somewhere like
Easily
under a
accessible.
seat, but like away
Yeah.
that I can't get to it, that nobody else can get to it.
Yeah.
And then when I get to that hotel in Reno, I take it out. I leave everything in the RV but the pouch.
Yeah.
And then I go in and do the shower, bath,
Oh, God,
dousing,
yes.
hot
Oh
water.
my God, that sounds so nice already.
That's totally what I was thinking. Like we haven't even gotten out
Yeah.
there, and I'm
already-
immediately experiencing how nice that's gonna feel. This is not gonna bode
We
well
haven't
for
even
us.
got to Burning Man. We're already
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
How we're
the
gonna get
pool
clean.
and the jacuzzi and what hotels we're staying at.
Definitely the thing to take away from that little nugget is be sure to put it somewhere accessible so you don't have to go through all the dusty stuff to find it. So put it up front somewhere where it's easily findable once you get to Reno.
Part of your Exodus plan. So
Yeah.
my Exodus plan is that. And then I also have like a little cooler with like drinks and snacks because you never know how long you're going to get stuck getting out.
Yes,
True.
totally.
Actually, you know what? That's a good topic to start on. Do you have opinions and feelings about like how to approach Exodus? And I'll tell you my bias, by the way, is I had a year where I had to leave early due to a medical emergency, and it was such a sad exit to not be like part of the Exodus. It felt like I was being ripped out of a womb and tossed out into the world. And so it gave me a new appreciation for that multiple hour thing that like a lot of us will bitch about, but then like while we're actually in the experience, I'm like, oh, I kind of need this as like a part of my decompression.
You do. You have to go through the portal. Like you were put back into Defaultia by cesarean section. Just
Yeah.
like shoop, plop, there
Yeah.
you are. And you're, I'm still dusty and I'm not sure if I wanted this. I didn't get the bath I wanted.
Give me that cord back.
Yeah, exactly. I need
I
it.
had this the whole time.
I'm a little concerned about this year.
Yeah, why so?
Well, because the Renegade burn is going to be coming in at the same time that we are trying to be leaving.
Is this a
And
thing that's
it's
happening?
on the
I didn't
same-
know.
And it's on the
Supposedly.
same road. And
Okay.
I'm like, guys.
We'll see what happens. The Bureau, so the Bureau of Land Management is alerted,
Yeah.
and there might be a prevention because there's the permit for Burning Man actually is longer then it doesn't. The public event ends at a certain time.
Right.
But Burning Man has the permit longer because they have to do Playa Resto.
For a month afterwards,
Yeah.
guys.
Right.
A month afterwards.
So
we are cleaning.
they have to go elsewhere in
Yeah.
order to do
Yeah.
Renegade because the area is still taken up.
That was my biggest concern. Like,
That was
I'm
my biggest concern, too.
I'm totally fine with people going out into the desert and having their own party. Even call it a Black Rock Regional or
Whatever.
something. But why do you? But please, please, please understand that there is so much that goes on with cleaning and making sure that we leave no trace and everything. And when you add another level of massive critical mass, then you're going to make that even harder on the people who are already working so hard to make sure that we don't leave a huge trace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm obviously not in the loop on what you're describing, but it that is something that I've observed over the years, where like the sort of like the anarchist subculture of burner world is like I saw this, last year at the Renegade. They were like, "See, we don't need Burning Man." I'm like,
You really do.
You were also
kinda
really
do.
lucky, guys.
Yeah.
Really lucky.
100%.
Like 1,000 times
Yeah.
lucky. Like there could have been so many things that could have happened that would
Absolutely.
have.
The conversation was had on Playa with you, like they were like, it's entirely possible that something could fuck up really badly this year, and actual Burning Man next year couldn't happen.
Yeah.
Like that was absolutely a possibility.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, civic responsibility.
Yeah.
I filed this sort of under that, like the
Yes.
understanding that, like, yes, bureaucracy can be irritating, but it
Absolutely.
has a service. There's a reason we humans put it together and implemented it and utilize it,
Yeah.
so that we can try to make cool shit happen and work together.
Yeah.
But
And
it
also
is-
be able to burn stuff on Playa. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Right.
I liked that. I liked that part, and they weren't
Yeah.
able to do that last year. And
I would love to implore listeners not to go to the Renegade thing, but I have a strong feeling whoever's listening to this episode is probably on their way already to actual Burning Man. So
I just talked to a bunch of people out on Playa today to kind of get the temperature of some of the art projects that I'll be talking about. And wow, the rainstorm that just happened, you guys!
Oh my god!
my god!
I thought it was a hoax. First of all, you know how like there's always like the bugs
There's
or the
always
birds
something.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So I
This
looked at
is
those pictures
real.
and I was like, that can't be. But then it was a friend of mine's camp that got completely obliterated. Like his camp is now completely obliterated.
The sand in the trailer.
Sand in the trailer.
in
the
a
whole
four-wheel.
tent looks like pickup sticks.
Is this
all of
the
his
one with the
gear,
bike sunken in, like,
giant-
halfway
That was
in?
a completely different one.
Oh
a
my
whole,
God.
like berm. It looked like they had a flash flood.
yeah.
no, yes, there is hoax. I feel like, hoaxes aside, every year a bunch of crazy shit does happen right before Burning Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
I think that's Mother Nature's way of
yeah.
saying, "Oh, don't forget."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and they were super lucky last
And they
year
were
that they
super
didn't have
lucky.
the don't forget.
Yeah, the Renegade Burn did not get "Don't
Nothing.
forget."
yeah.
They
yeah.
didn't get the don't forget, and I feel like as much as I'm very happy because nobody got super severely hurt because of anything like that, or nobody got stuck out there, like, because I've known people who literally got stuck out there for days on end, and because they got past the shimmer. And when you're past the shimmer in the middle of the day,
What do you mean
and
shimmer? What's that?
the shimmer is it comes up around like 11 o'clock, and it makes it so you can't see past about like I can't remember
200
what it
yards
is.
ahead or something like that?
Yeah.
So the mirage effect,
So it's the mirage
the
effect.
shimmer. That makes sense.
Yeah. And so people can get lost out there when they go past that purview because you're past that horizon. So and also things that look really small. So you could think that it's a person and it's a tin can.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, we definitely had a situation where somebody was lost because they had gone out past the fence at one point before we had opened, and we were trying to find them, and it took hours and hours and hours. And I warned people on Facebook on the Renegade page. I was like, hey guys, I totally understand you guys wanted to go out, but just be careful and care for the people that you go out there with, because it's very easy to get lost, especially with no borders, and you can get stuck really easy in these berms.
Yep.
Super easy to get stuck, especially these like sedans and
Yeah, yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
My feeling about it is that it's a sexy story to tell that like, oh, went out there and did it on their own. But there was a plan in place that was basically based on years and years of Burning Man actually happening. It just happened to be that last year, you know, the BLM permits and stuff were not in place the normal way, but it wasn't like complete chaos. And that's not this. It only existed because there was still like muscle memory in place from years of Burning Man. So to say that it was like the story was like all the, you know, the headlines or what, you know, blog articles that say like they did it completely, you know, like, no, not really. There was a lot of muscle memory. Yeah,
well, and there was the infrastructure of the
principles. Exactly.
Like people went out there purposely to remind people about the principles. Like that was Halcyon's like goal when he went out there. There were other longtime burners who went out there just to make sure that everybody understood who we are as a community and how we take care of each other.
Exactly. Yes. And there were I was there for like 4 days. And in my observation, there were folks there that like, you know, again, like part of like the more like anarchist wing sort of our subculture of our community. But for every one of those, there was like, you know, 5 other people who've had extensive experience who are walking around educating each other about, hey, you should do it this way. Hey, you shouldn't be out in the middle of blah, 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 because we don't have a trash fence this time around. So all this kind of stuff, all of these factors. Yeah. All these factors were in
But
place.
we have a trash fence this year.
I know.
And it's up.
Yeah. I know. I can't believe they got it up in that crazy whiteout.
They did it in the whiteout. I love seeing the video of the two of them coming from side to side,
so
putting in that
cool.
last post out of the dust.
Yes.
It was such a cool video.
Yeah.
That would be such a good soundbite. The kashink, kashink of the hammering those stakes in the ground. I just love that. It's like, okay, we're getting ready.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for all these people.
You just gave me an idea. I gotta go record that and sound sample it for this podcast or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
Actually,
I know
there's
which
a really
aisle in Home
cool
Depot.
happening that's happening on Playa this year, and this is a good segue.
Are you jumping ahead?
I'm
All
just
right,
jumping ahead.
Let's start with happenings.
Because they're, you know, everybody hears about the Golden Spike ceremony.
Yes.
And it marks the center of the city, and only the people that are out there building really get to be part of it.
Yeah.
So Black Rock Station's going to do a Golden Spike ceremony for everyone.
Oh, cool.
I don't know where the station's going to be built, somewhere out by the 12 o'clock apex of the trash fence, somewhere, you know, we don't know the art placement yet. But Black Rock Station is the train station. There used to be an actual train station out there, and the Gerlach Station doesn't really exist anymore. But this group is dedicated to the history of the train. So they're building a train station, and on Monday between 10 a.m. and noon, you can go out to the train station and pound in a golden spike into the rails.
That's so cool.
And I think that's going to be really cool. And you get to hear that ka-ching, that loud ringing out when you pound in the golden spike.
That'll be fun.
That's great. I'm a big fan of pounding on Playa for sure.
Yeah.
That's a great one to start. Is that your happening contribution?
There's a lot of them
Yeah.
because we are taking BRCVR from the virtual to the physical, back to the virtual. We're continuing to tell the story of the community that formed around the virtual burn. And now they're, after 3 years of waiting for their art to be realized, are now building it physically. So we're going there with 360 and 180 cameras. And in the process of doing all of this, I've put together a shot schedule of just a myriad of things happening on Playa. So
Amazing.
that's one, but I have a list of like 10 things every day.
Awesome. Well, whenever we get dead silence on this episode, we're just going to turn back to Athena.
Yeah. What's on your schedule of your of shots you must acquire for the VR world?
Ginger Fox, do you have a happening or activity that you are excited about experiencing on Playa?
Oh, I am happening or activity. This year, I'm going to do a different kind of volunteering besides what I typically do.
Okay.
I'm still doing my normal load.
The thing that I can't talk about,
Yeah, shh, quiet.
that I'm annoyed by,
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
but it's great.
I wear a funny hat. That's all you need to know. I'm going to join in the ritual of lamp lighting.
Nice.
It's open to everybody and anybody. And I've actually always known this, and that they just have like a cocktail hour, and then they like gear you up and tell you what to do, and you follow their lead. And there's just something so symbolic of carrying these lamps, oil-filled lamps to all the spires around Inner Playa that I don't know why I haven't done it before, but I kind of can't wait to do it this year. And
So cool.
Yeah, I messaged a friend and I was like, hey, you must do this out on Playa. And they were like, no, I'm actually a lamplighter. I was like, great, now I know who to find. Tell me where you are. They're somewhere, I think, like 4 in Esplanade, right? So if you're listening and you want to volunteer, go and find them any day between 3 and 5.
That's great.
Yeah.
And they make amazing Bloody Marys.
Oh, heck yeah.
They have a Bloody Mary party that's just exceptional. But Lamplighters is really this amazing community. It's more than just the ritual of lighting the city. They're bringing illumination to our evenings and to our lives, and I just love the ritual.
Oh, I can't wait to experience this.
Showing the Lamplighters is like one of my favorite things to show like family and friends, like people who've never been to Burning Man who like are trying to understand it. I'll show them that. Yeah. And the Lamplighter Bar is like one of my favorite places to go to on Playa.
All right.
So,
I'll be there on Tuesday.
Nice.
that sounds great.
Okay.
I love that.
Cool.
Haley, do you have an activity or a happening?
Yeah, actually, my friends from Brazil are working on the White Sage Project, Sunrise Island. And every sunrise, they're going to be doing kind of this little oasis island experience where they have people coming from Brazil. They're going to have instruments, and some indigenous people will be coming to do kind of a sunrise ritual. Hopefully at some point I'll have some of my jellyfish puppets out there, and we'll have like a jellyfish parade that comes around on sunrise. It just seems like such a cool concept, and it's Deep Playa at the end of 2 and I.
Okay.
That sounds so cool.
I know. Like,
amazing.
I love when people do these like things that are so far out, and when you approach it and see that these people have like a whole entire kind of concept that they've just like concocted so far away from everybody else, is so fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was breaking down how we're going to go through some of the stuff for this episode. I'm like, there's a bunch of stuff that doesn't fit into any category. Like, what is this?
And these guys are also from the Brazilian regional too. They do a bunch of stuff out there as well. I can't wait to meet all of those.
Do you have
guys,
any idea how big that regional is?
I don't actually. I should look it up.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
The regionals are starting to spread across Latin America. It's like the last vestige
Bastion.
of yeah. When I was traveling around Latin America, I was amazed. I was like, no, we need a Burning Man regional here, and we need one in Peru, and we need one in Argentina. And we need one in-
Absolutely.
So they're starting to sprout up, but Brazil was the first in Latin America.
That's cool.
I wonder if
Awesome.
one of the reasons it took so long is because they're already having so many amazing festivals themselves. They're
Yeah.
like, that's great.
They're
Burning
like,
Man.
whatever. So North America.
They have more
Okay.
freedom to do whatever they want than we do. So.
Yeah. Totally.
We've been burning stuff down here since
Yeah.
the dawn of man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to go backwards on this list then. Favorite food adventure? Is there some kind of food something that you're intrigued by in the past that you're looking to revisit? Is there some new food adventure that you've heard about this coming year? I'm going to start with Haley.
The Dust City Diner, always and forever, is my favorite. I just coming upon that sign way up in the air and greeting the amazing giant bouffant wigged waitresses and them making you pancakes and coffee in the middle of a whiteout and staying in character the whole time is just an absolute delight. Like I can't even. And I've only experienced it once. And it was like
Really?
And it was like before they started before like the gates even opened. So it was just like a bunch of us DPWs in like in a truck. And we just like happened to see them, and they were already like fully dressed, making scrambled eggs and pancakes, and it was just so cute. And then like they even have like a little dishwashing station with like all the stuff, even like a little bleach water and everything, so you know that it feels like safe and everything. I just love them, and they're just the fact that they've been doing it for so long and that they're just so on it is my favorite.
No, they do. They really appreciate them for all the support that they give to artists that are out there building. Like they put a lot of energy before the gates even open.
Yeah.
To helping Black Rock City happen, and that's like the magic of watching the city come up. Like
Totally.
there's all these little things that go into it so that people can keep building shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I definitely, we had a hot dog stand at one point on the back of a bike, and that was all we did was just go through the DMV line because everybody was stuck in the DMV for hours at one point because of some kerfuffle. And people were just starving. So we just brought them hot dogs and just like served them hot dogs, because you want those cars to get out there. You don't want people to give up and just go back to their camp or whatever.
Fluffing is the secret sauce of Burning Man.
That's actually the volunteer thing. So later.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm gonna come back to that.
Yeah.
Then. Ginger Fox. Food.
What was the question again?
Food.
Food. I really want to get to soup and jazz this year.
Ooh.
I want more live music in my burn, and I've heard that this is a fun camp to go. And Haley is pointing at herself to tell me something.
Badlands Camp is also at 10 and B is a live music camp, so you should come.
10 and B, everybody. Badlands Camp. Your camp there?
Yeah.
All right.
It's my boyfriend's camp that he's been hosting for years, and more live music on Playa.
You're
More live
making
music
dreams
on
come
Playa.
true right now.
The
Thank
Jazz
you.
Cafe is one of my favorite places, right at Center Camp. And they're in BRCVR as well.
Nice.
But I love the Jazz Cafe. And it ends up being like a jazz jam.
Fuck
The
yeah.
midnight of Burn Night, that's such a happening place. Some of the best musicians on the Playa
Very
just all
cool.
converge on the Jazz Cafe. But we were talking about food.
Yeah. No. Then I'm lost in that. I was like jazz
Food
jam.
and jazz.
Jazz jam.
Jazz sounds
Jazz
great.
jam. So every night at midnight, the Jazz Cafe goes off. But
Awesome.
but that Burn Night show is always hands down incredible.
That absolutely sounds like a destination.
But food,
Yeah.
there is a new guide. This is the first year for the Chomp Guide.
Yeah.
And the Chomp Guide, and it's available now. Yeah, look
Yeah.
at
You're
your
blowing my
face.
mind.
The Chomp Guide.
Yeah.
No way.
It's like the what, where, when of food on
Yeah.
the playa.
Oh, hell yeah.
Can I print it yet, or do I have to
It's
wait?
printed now. You can
Okay.
print it now. I already printed mine.
It's a
Okay.
PDF.
Chomp
We're
Guide.
gonna have the link for it in this show notes for sure.
Okay.
It's like the old school rockstar librarian.
Yes.
But just for
cool.
food.
But for food.
Yeah.
And Rockstar Librarian announced that the 23rd she's
Yes.
releasing. So.
This coming Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Tuesday.
That will also be linked in the show
yeah.
notes here. I want to know real quick. So you said jazz and soup. So
I
they're
think
gonna.
it's the name of a camp, so
Right.
I'm just gonna have to start looking
Are
for
we
the
assuming they're serving soup because it's in the name?
camp. Oh. I just cruised by once and I was like, this is beautiful, 3-piece jazz band, and I was like, can I have a seat? And they're like, actually, we're getting ready to seat everybody else, and you can come back. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I just like carried on my week, and so I'm just gonna look for them again. I hope it's soup. It doesn't have to be soup.
Yeah.
I would be fine with just jazz, but we're talking about food, so we'll get that food
We are.
guide, chomp
The
guide.
Chomp Guide.
Oh.
You know what you're describing to me just reminded me of a time that I accidentally discovered a cheese speakeasy.
Oh.
Like do you know what I'm
Yes,
talking about?
I do.
There was like a secret knock, and then like when I was ready to leave, they're like, "Are you sure you want to leave? Because you can't get back in." And then so I stayed longer.
What kind of cheese did you have?
All of it. All
Oh
of the
my
cheese.
God. Sounds amazing.
Yeah. It was a whole like secret speakeasy setup with lots of cheese.
I love the speakeasies. They're
Yeah.
some of my favorite things out there.
One of the craziest food experience I had on Playa was the year that we had the Circle of Regional Effigies out there, or one of them.
Yeah.
And Maine had done a really beautiful thing. The Maniacs were out there. And they had drop shipped, I don't know, like an insane amount of live lobster to the Playa via FedEx on dry ice that day. And they cooked them the night before we were going to do our burn. We being LA, we built a food truck. So we had like funny candy tacos and stuff like that. It was like a joke. They're cooking full on Maine lobster on Playa and fresh
That
from
sounds
that morning.
amazing.
It was amazing. amazing.
What?
And they had this guy who was a special chef that understood like the proper way of preparing the lobster and the boiling it and the steaming. They steamed it and out in the middle of the playa, right by the man. It wasn't even in their camp. It was crazy. It was so good.
That sounds amazing.
It was amazing.
This is one of the stories I've heard from so many people because it was like it definitely affected a lot of people's experiences.
A lot of people. It was like, what?
Yeah.
The butter, and the perfect temperature, and the lobster was just perfect. And oh my God, it was crazy. Some of the best.
I want to counterbalance that with this story that I've been like dying to share because like there's this experience, right? It's like one of those things where I've heard from so many people about the year that they drop shipped lobster, right? Like people like, I can't fucking believe this thing happened in the middle of, like all that, right? I camped with a guy this last in 2019, and he spent like all week building like an alien spaceship entry port that the only way to get into was to get on your hands and knees and crawl through a little space between like tents. And then you get into it, and it was this full-on thing with like drinks floating on the bar and an alien talking to you. And he did this. It was elaborate. It was, and his whole focus was that he wanted to only show this to like a small handful of people, so that those people would go back and tell their friends, hey, this thing happened to me. I was just walking around on myself, and this girl randomly came up to me and said, hey, you want to come check out this weird playing? And then I crawled on my hands and knees and came into a spaceship. And he wanted people to hear the story and go, oh, you were just high. I think you're making that up.
I love that.
Because I think only like 6 or 7 people actually went into this thing that he spent all week building in
So did you get to see it?
ways. Yeah. Yeah.
And was it like a puppet? Like the alien was a puppet?
Yeah, it was like an alien animatronic. What? So he would like he would put on the animatronic mask. And the bar was set up so that the drinks, it was like a magnet thing so that they were like floating on top of the bar. It looked like you'd gone into an alien spaceship bar and an alien was serving you drinks.
That's great.
And only like 7 people at Burning Man, other than the people at our camp, got to experience it.
Wow.
That's my favorite thing about Burning Man as a whole for the entire event. My favorite thing about Burning Man is the street theater. I just, the DJs, the live music, the street theater, the shenanigans that just happen at an intersection. One year we all got construction suits. And we decided to set up a construction zone in the middle of one of the streets and like block traffic and detour and make people go other directions and make loud noises. We had recordings of like jackhammers and stuff like that. And we just did like this crazy construction zone street theater in the middle of an intersection and wreaked a serious amount of havoc. Yeah. But it was funny.
I could not agree with you more. That's my favorite thing about Burning Man as well.
Me
Street
too.
theater.
I love it.
Love it.
I love it.
I always say I do the dance floor thing pretty quickly so I can get like the energy out of my system. And then that's my next thing is like either quiet bars on some side street where I end up having like some conversation with an Eastern European like college professor.
Yeah.
You know? And that's or like the street stuff that
Or the street stuff. Yeah, I won't be on dance floors this year. I just there's too many viruses around. Like we got COVID, we got monkeypox, there's a whole bunch of other shit that we, I just no. I can hear the DJ from back over there. And I can dance just fine. I am not going to shove myself in a giant crowd of people. That is not going to be what I do this year. But power to the people.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Maybe we can find some like line dancing where everybody's 6 feet apart and like
and they're all facing the same direction.
Exactly. Yeah,
I love
like
that.
Macarena and whatever else, electric slide.
Yeah.
It's out there. We're gonna find some sort of dance floor.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw something in the Playa event about there's a camp doing square dancing.
There we go.
I love square
And I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Full on square dancing. So.
Actually, I can tell you, Athena, what you're suggesting lines up perfectly with my dance floor plans generally as a 6'5" person. I like being far out of the crowd and I like spreading my arms out. And that's actually why I dance the most at Burning Man because there's lots of open desert where the DJ might be on an art car that's, that far away. And I'm like spinning around feeling completely open. I can breathe in open air. Like that's my favorite way to dance.
Yeah. Totally.
And the DJs are loud enough. You can hear them on the other side.
Yeah. Try as you might not to hear them. You will hear them.
You will hear them. All of them. It's that movie title. everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah. So like I know like for me, probably like my favorite dance floor is going to be something like Celtic Chaos, where the sound is blasting out into the open playa, and I can just literally just go out in the middle of, like, surrounded by no one and dance, and that's euphoria for me.
Totally.
Yeah.
I got myself one of those light up wings, you know, with the wands in it, and I figured that's going to be my 6 feet away.
Yeah,
Here we go.
totally.
Just stay away. I'm just going to wipe my hands back and forth and.
Zoom, zoom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, lightsabers.
Carry a lightsaber.
That is a trend. Haley, what is your favorite dance floor option at Burning Man?
Always whatever the front porch is playing. I will dance my ass off in front of that front porch, no matter what. I think the last time I danced in front of the front porch, it was, what is that band called? Something Axiom, and it's like a upright bass, fiddle. I just loved it. Every
Front
second
porch
of
is
it.
the best.
Yeah, it's the best.
Live music.
Yeah,
Live music. I mean, it's just really, that's my first Burning Man was not my favorite. For one, because I just had different expectations. I thought there was going to be a lot more live music and a lot more steel and wood and fire, and it was a lot of flashing lights and dumb pretending to be music.
I know that song.
And that song that plays nonstop,
Does it have-
constantly.
is it the one
that
with the
one
kick
song?
drums? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just like, God damn it. So I definitely had to search out something to draw me close, and I decided that I was going to affix my ears on tubas and accordions. If I could hear a tuba or an accordion, I was going to go straight towards it.
Yeah.
Because you can hear those over everything. Accordion, a banjo almost, but it can get drowned out really fast. But I will always go towards a banjo too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Arkansas blood.
I really want to like produce house music now, all made with like banjos and accordions.
I just learned that a banjo is a snare drum.
Huh?
Like, I literally just learned that.
It's pretty cool, huh?
The body is
Yeah.
Yeah.
They took a snare drum and put strings on it and a neck. Literally, a banjo is a snare drum.
Ah,
Right? I found that super fascinating.
that is absolutely fascinating. Don't let it be said that Burner Podcast does not educate you.
So I challenge you to go find the flaming tuba. He'll be out this year.
Oh, he absolutely.
year.
That was one of the first people that I saw.
David Silverman.
Yeah, Silverman. I came to, is it Mascatonic Society? What is the camp that he's?
Oh, I
involved
don't
with?
remember. But yes,
Fucking hell, I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, that was one of the first.
I
places.
love the flaming
Love
tuba
him.
so
He's so
much.
great, and he's out there every single year.
Ginger Fox, dance floor.
I kind of chase Charlie around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a Charlie chaser.
I'm a Charlie chaser.
better get
It's
it
his
in.
last
Charlie's
year.
last
It
year.
is. We're resurrecting him. We saw him stripped down and revamped and everything at other little things here in LA. And it was really weird to see him without his big unicorn head and all of his dressings and trappings. And I remember, like, you know, watching somebody stick the key in the ignition being like, I wonder if it's going to turn on this time. And he's running.
I think that's every art car. Where you just
going
put
to
the key in the
Candy
ignition. You're like, I hope this turns on this time.
Roulette.
I will be at Diva's Dawn set. I
Yes.
will be there.
I'll
There
see you
we go.
there.
I will see you there dancing in the back of the dance floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna be chasing in big old boots right behind because my favorite DJ is coming on right before Diva.
Oh,
Who's that? Who's that?
Bam boom.
Oh, Bam Boom. Nice.
Yeah.
Fun
Back to back with
fact.
Diva. Very nice.
yes.
Fun fact that I learned on this show during an interview when I interviewed Ken Feldman, who's the man that brought the 747 to Burning Man. He made Charlie the Unicorn,
Yes, he did.
and a lot of folks don't know that.
He's got a big imagination.
Yes, he
Really
does.
does.
He made Charlie the Unicorn, but the 747 was like one of his schemes from his very, very first burn, and eventually turned into
A
that
thing.
next project. Yeah, so,
Which is now something you can go visit whenever you want at in Vegas.
The 747?
Yeah.
Is it fully? Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's at Area 15.
Oh, yeah.
It has a home.
It has a
wonderful.
home. It has a home.
That's awesome.
There's actually quite a bit of burner art there. It's like a little pocket of Burning Man right there.
I am intending to at some point do an interview with the folks there. I can't wait to get out there and visit and explore that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's a good transition. The argument about what is an art project. Let's talk about art projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are and we're going to talk about like let's say 5-ish art projects. So each of us will kind of like discuss one thing. Well, each of you will because I'm the host. What is the one massive art project, like one really big one impossible to miss that you are excited about seeing? Athena's raising her hand very high. Yes, Athena, please.
I am most excited about Catharsis.
Yeah.
Catharsis is Arthur Momomani. He did the Galaxia Temple and other pieces. This was the very first model that we got into BRCVR when we put out the playa and we put out a call. He already had a model. He's an architect and he already was building everything based on 3D models.
Very cool.
So he was sort of like, okay, here. The model was massive because it's for building, not for VR. But I've been walking around that piece for 3 years. I have been in it, through it, flown over it, around it. I've watched the iterations of it. I am so excited to see it. And when we did our placement in BRCVR, we got to place things wherever the artist wanted their stuff to be.
Yeah.
So when somebody said to me, like, we asked people where they wanted to be. And he said, I always envisioned it to be in a plaza behind center camp, like 6 o'clock behind center camp. There's not a plaza back there. But, we modeled it. We could do whatever we wanted. So we put a plaza back there, and that's where we put Catharsis. That's where Catharsis is this year.
No
There's a 6 o'clock plaza.
I didn't know that.
Oh man.
Isn't that amazing?
That is so cool.
So you need to venture into the city. There's actually 9 plazas. They have so much art. So you have to realize there's 3 years of art because we were all planning for 2020 on. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
But now we're going to plan for 2021. So then there was like this next level of artists and that didn't happen. And now we're in 2022. So there's 3 years of art going to the playa. They needed to have a place for all of it.
Yeah.
So there's 9 plazas.
Yeah.
There's 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock have plazas at C and G. And then 4:30 and 7:30 have C and G. And then 6 o'clock has G. And all of them are anchored with art and theme camps.
That's
Very
amazing.
cool.
How wonderful.
It is amazing. And there's like a second esplanade. I don't know what to call it. But between E and F, basically the F street is a wider street. And there are like pink hearts on it, and who else? Somebody Talk to God is on it. Maybe Disorient is on it. Like there's like
Maybe it'll be like more like an art car route. I mean,
That's
for
interesting.
functionally, so you don't have to play chicken. Big art
right.
cars don't have to play chicken.
Don't have to play chicken. Although that's fun
That
street
is
theater
fun.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched the praying mantis and the scorpion play chicken.
Yep. I saw.
You know, those two were after each other. It's just an evolutionary
Always.
thing.
Yeah.
There's like who sneaking up behind each other. The praying mantis is coming up on the scorpion, and then find them in the city street.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh,
Praying
That
mantis
is
is actually in
amazing.
Vegas too.
oh wow.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
really cool.
It looks really cool. And it breathes fire.
Well, I'm so
That's
glad to
amazing.
hear about all these new plazas.
Yeah. So Catharsis, that's what I'm most excited about. There's a lot of pieces I could go into details. And Catharsis actually is going to make a tour. So this is its first place, and people can write all over it. And then they're going to dismantle it. It's not burning. And they're going to take it to like 4 or 5 different cities and set it up and let people write all over it before it finally makes its final resting place and burns.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
It's a great piece.
I'd had a little birdie say to me that they were worried that this might be the first year that they've had to actually decline art because there's so much art coming in, which is like another one of the reasons this year
It
is
was
a
like
milestone.
400 and I don't know, 30, 40 pieces of art to be
Yeah.
placed.
Yeah.
We normally have like 200 pieces of art to be placed.
That is nuts.
Like kudos to the artery. They
Yeah.
are doing whatever they can to radically include all of it.
How you like that art renegade burn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
What you gonna do now?
That is true. That is
Not
true.
to
It
put
is
you
the
down.
complete
Glad you did
opposite.
that. But
Yeah, yeah.
But I want to hear what you guys are excited about.
Yeah.
My hometown of Ventura, they had a 2020 art grant honorarium, and it's the Petal Portal. And so it's, everybody loves a portal. Like, I'm going to walk through this big ring or some rainbow archway or something like that. But it's consecutive rings in different sizes and solar powered and lit up. And it's huge. I think it's about 12 rings, and they have a mosaic tile all over them and lights, and it's going to be out there by the temple at the beginning of Outer Playa. And I just went and hung out at one of their little fundraisers, and it was a fun little jam band, and everybody's been pouring support into the artist and from the community to get this all built. And now I'm just learning so much about how art happens and preparing to come and talk with you all today, and we're just gonna get it trucked out soon, and I can't wait to see it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a portal.
Everybody, a portal and a photo. Everybody loves a portal photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Haley.
Well, actually, mine was catharsis too. That was I actually called my friends Dallas Swindle and Christian Cummings on my way out here to kind of get the temperature of what's going on and how they fared the storm and everything. They're already out on Playa building Catharsis, and I just love the fact that one, that it was virtual for so long, so people have actually done some exploring, and now they get to see it in reality.
Yeah.
But also that they're going to be taking it apart, taking it to other places to raise kind of awareness of what Burning Man is and how it can be, inclusive in different ways by incorporating art and music and performance and creating these little stages and hangout spots. It's almost like a tiny fractalized version of Burning Man that's going to tour around.
That's
I think
so
that's
great.
really cool.
And yet not tiny at all.
no,
This
it's
thing is
giant.
huge.
It's
The
so big.
The very first time we put the model in, and we came in to go look at it, and Arthur was in there with us, and he looks at it and he goes, "You need, it's like 50% bigger than that." And then we made it bigger, and we popped back in, and he's like, "Yeah, it's still probably bigger than that." We were like,
Wow.
"Holy
Wow.
cow, it is
Wow.
so big. I cannot wait to see it in person."
It's gonna
I'm
be so cool.
excited to see it in
Amazing.
person. I'm so excited to see it in person. And Solar Shrine was also one of the first pieces we had in there. Antoine Lee, he's never been to Playa. He's doing a massive art piece. He's from Chicago, and an incredible artist. It is Afrofuturism. And brings in a lot of like Egyptian mythology and ideas around our worship of the sun. We're all sun worshipers. We wake up every morning and we're like, oh, the dawn, and we sit there and stare at the sunset and stop our days. I mean, no matter what deity we decide to worship, we all worship the sun.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that piece is going to be really amazing, and it's one of the burns. So they're limiting the burns this year. It's part of the sustainability project. So it's not like we're going to have like unlimited burns. I think there's like 5 or 6.
Which I do appreciate that.
I do appreciate that as well. We don't need to be
We don't need to be constantly
burning.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
everything all the time.
But
let
Solar
the
Shrine
things
is going to
go on
burn on
tour.
Friday night.
I like
Yeah,
this.
go on tour.
Yeah.
Be cathartic for
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Solar Shrine's also one that I'm very excited about, and that I've been able to tour and run around and in VR. I just want to just do a quick little plug for anybody who's interested. All these art pieces that I'm talking about that are in VR are actually there, and anybody can see them right now, today, for free.
Yeah.
It's available to you. If you just go to brcvr.org and click on the Desert Arts Preview tab, all the directions on how to see, we have 54-ish pieces that are in there. Every piece that you see in the Desert Arts Preview worlds, there's 6 worlds with a whole bunch of art. We had to spread it out because it was just optimization and size and stuff like that. But you can see them all. You can fly around them. You can go through them. You can climb on them. And all of them are in the process of being built right now, physically.
Cool.
So you can see them virtually, and then you can see them physically. And we're challenging people. Go and get your selfie taken in front of all of the virtual pieces, and then go on a treasure hunt and try to find them all on Playa and take a picture with them. And then put the pictures together afterwards. And post it and show the virtual and the physical together.
Oh, it's fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. You know what I really love about this project is that it really is, to me, a powerful example of radical inclusion, because any of our listeners from various parts of the world who can't make it to Burning Man this year can go and see these art projects and can personally experience them and feel them. And that right there is like really, really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Loving
And
that.
you don't need a VR headset.
Yeah.
Just a PC or a Mac. Desktop works just fine.
Yeah.
But the headset is immersive.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I interviewed Arthur Momani in London a few years back, because when he was doing it was before Galaxia had gone up, and he was like in the process of designing and everything. And I'm really excited to see his pieces again this year as well. Like he's definitely one of my favorite interviews. Because one of the reasons we do this show is like when you really get into the head of the artist, of like what motivated them to create the thing, it develops this stronger emotional connection with the piece, which makes it, you know, for many of us, even more interesting and beautiful. And I want to like actually get into that. Like, what is the next art project I want to hear from you on is what is something that you feel an emotional connection from, some sort of emotional inspiration that's moving something inside of you. Whoever feels like going first.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Atabe.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're talking about worship of the sun, so we have this idea of this feminine goddess is all encapsulated in the presence of a fish. And I love how the artist is using, it's going to be big, and they're using the playa as the fish is going into and coming out of. And so you have this kind of like I guess is it your perception is shifted, but I love that use of something is not seen and it's under there. So I can't wait to see this. It's a Puerto Rican goddess.
Yeah.
Represented.
So
Atabe.
beautiful.
And Nino,
sculpture.
and they've been
Nino,
building
yeah.
Nino, and they've been building it here in LA, and it is also one of the models that's in BRCVR in the Desert Arts Preview Worlds.
Yeah. Nino's amazing. He's an amazing storyteller, and he's following his whole career from his first project all the way till now. It's been pretty spectacular. Absolutely. And he does put a lot of personal emotion and feeling into like what he creates. So it's an excellent example. Haley, do you have one that gives you the feels?
Well, I absolutely love it's a returning one too, which I'm super excited about because I love whenever art projects return. Because sometimes one, like you were saying about the alien bar, it's just really nice to be able to show people stuff like, hey, you didn't get to see this, come and see it. But it's a friend, Anne Stavely, is doing the Circle of Doors Tarot again. And if you haven't seen that
But bigger.
yet, it's so cool. Because on the outside, it's a circle of all these antique wooden doors. And you choose whichever door you want to go into. Once you go in, it's very dark in there. And on the other side of the door is a large format photograph that is a tarot card that when you look at it, you will assume that it's like photoshopped, but it's actually all in camera based multiple exposures.
Okay.
They're absolutely gorgeous.
Wow.
They're gorgeous.
And when you enter, I'm sure she'll probably do this again, there's somebody there who will read your card for you. So that's your card.
Wow.
And they come and they give you a reading associated with whichever door you just came through.
And it's in the evening hours.
Yes.
Between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. is
Nice
you can
and
you can
cool.
do the doors whenever you want,
Yeah.
but to get the reading, it's
Oh, gotcha.
between
Nice.
9 and 11.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Do we
That's
know where it's
also
placed?
in BRCVR, but we have the smaller
Awesome.
version from before. We don't have the full version. So we're going to
Very
go
cool.
there to try to capture as much of it as we can so that
Nice.
we can upgrade it to the newer version.
So the last time it came out was the Major Arcana.
2014.
Yeah, so
This
this
is gonna have
year.
some
It's the
minor,
full
right?
deck.
Nice. Oh my god.
And if you contribute to their Kickstarter, I don't know if it's still going, you can get a deck.
No
They
way.
printed decks.
Take my money.
I know. I was like, take my money. I was like,
They're
here.
so beautiful.
There were some Kickstarters that I just was like, I don't have the money to spend on this right now, but I don't care. The Museum of No Spectators also had like really great swag on their Kickstarter. But Circle of Doors Tarot.
Yeah, I have the major Arcana tarot deck that she gave me, and it's just absolutely amazing. Like beautiful photographs.
Jill Sutherland and Ann Stavely, they are fantastic.
Yeah, they're amazing.
That is a must see. So yeah, I think the last time they were there was 2014.
Yep.
Ah, that is amazing.
Which was also my last year on Playa.
I'm particularly excited to see these the multiple exposure photos that you're describing.
So cool.
They're beautiful.
And they're large format.
Yeah.
I mean,
the size of the door.
The size of the door. They're so crisp and beautiful. You just can't even. It's like, you know, Mike Garlington also does the large format camera.
Is he going to have a big gallery out there?
I'm not sure. You know, I should have checked in with him before I came on the show, but
I love his photography.
I know. Oh, the chapel.
Yes,
was the by far, other than the Folly, best burn on Playa. Probably the most toxic.
Possibly.
Sorry, Mike, but because it was so gorgeous. It was like green and blue and purple from the chemicals that were.
Oh, you mean literally chemically toxic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was very cathartic watching it. It was absolutely beautiful, but I was like the entire time going,
Yeah.
Should that fire be changing so many colors right now? Is this okay?
You know what though? You said the magic words, because one of the prompts I'd given you is there an art project that makes you I can't even? You're like, I can't even. What is something that makes you go I can't even? Whatever that means to you.
I think the one that I'm really excited about that's so Burning Man that I can't even is the
Look at you. You have notes.
She does have notes.
Fear.
Professional.
Hold on.
Facing
the Fear Beast.
Facing the Fear Beast.
Oh yes, that is amazing.
Yes.
Oh, it's so great.
Tell me.
I am so excited about this piece. It's a bunch of incredibly talented people who are working on it. Tigra, who I've known for a long time, who's brought pieces out before that were absolutely gorgeous. This is like a sculpted six-legged beast that's about 35 feet long. And it will have a small child in front of it that it's screaming at.
Yeah, its mouth is wide open. It's got these gnarly teeth. It has like 6 or 8 eyes on either side, glowing red. It is gnarly, scary. It is also one of the models we have in the Desert Arts preview. And when we first put it in, it like you would go in your headset and it would rattle your headset because it was so many polygons. It was like an intense thing, so we had to like fix it and bring it down. But we first came in, we were like, fear! Like the embodiment of fear in VR.
And I love the fact that it's the child that's facing the beast is looking into the gaping mouth, and in the back of the throat is a small child. So it's like the inner child that is completely consumed by the fear that has caused this giant creature to manifest. And I'm just really excited to see it because they've been working on it for so long, and all of them are just such great, amazing people and great artists. And they really tried to do a lot towards inclusion and bringing together a lot of people who normally wouldn't be able to go out there. And I think that there's some sort of sound element too, which I don't quite understand yet, but I think that there's some sort of really cool sound aspect too that I'm excited about.
I'm not crying, but I definitely feel my tear ducts activated from like I can't wait to see that. That sounds amazing.
It'll be really beautiful.
That's truly like wow. I'm gonna let that process for a minute. Yeah. You got some things in your box you can't even.
I can't even. Is it art? The giant seesaw.
Okay.
I
can't even.
I can't even.
Can't even.
I keep walking, keep biking.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that kind of I can't even. I'm so sorry.
No, it can be whatever.
Okay,
you
gotcha.
want.
Okay,
it's whatever kind of can't even.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm taking it literally can't use it.
Yeah.
Just,
Have you gone on the seesaw
oh,
before?
literally cannot even.
Cannot even. All those things. Remember the year of the giant slide that just left splinters in everyone's ass?
I was terrified to come
I
out
was
to Burning Man
terrified of
because
that.
of that, actually.
It's like,
the
no,
wedge.
can't even.
Yeah.
I understand safety third, but sometimes you look at something and go, there's no safety involved.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
not even a little bit.
Not even part of the conversation.
Fourth,
Nope.
fifth, or sixth.
No,
Not there.
No,
It
not
was
even
one of my biggest
spelled
fears about
incorrectly.
coming out to Burning Man from Arkansas was that the wedge. I was like, oh, people are that like ridiculously
Yeah.
like not capable of understanding how dangerous things are. Okay, maybe I don't want to be around those types of people. Are they gonna like light my hair on fire randomly or
I
something?
really enjoyed
or...
watching you diplomatically choose your next word as it's coming out of your mouth. I agree.
like,
what is this insanity?
Like, do not do that.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Yep.
So there's a piece that I'm really interested in from an emotional standpoint. I'm a backpacker and a hiker, and I just love going up into the California forest. It's some of my favorite, and I've done hiking all over the world. And just the sequoias are just, I have a love relationship with them. So there's a piece this year called Fire, and it is burnt trees with smoke. And that is all it is. And just hair up on the back of my neck, and I feel like I'm gonna cry. And you're gonna be able to walk through these burnt trees with smoke coming off of them. And I just think at sunrise to have that in the dust, and it's just gonna be so moving for me. I mean, I've hiked through these burnt out areas that were recently taken by the fires.
It's
And
so
it's
sad.
devastating, and it's sad, and it's devastating to see. And you see little bits of life starting to grow back, but there's no animals, there's no bugs, there's no of that life has come back to it yet. So to be in the blank playa with these burnt trees,
Surreal.
it's very surreal.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and and sequoias especially are like one of those things where if you haven't like physically experienced them in person,
Yeah.
it's difficult to conceive.
Yeah.
Of the same way that I feel like I would describe what it's like to how difficult it is to conceive of Burning Man when you get out there, how massive it is.
Massive it is.
Same thing with like walking around.
I think the trees that she's using are going to be the manzanita, just from looking at the model that we have in VR. But I actually I'm unsure, and I'm actually unsure how tall they're going to be. But I think that's going to be a very moving piece.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, that's a good transition then. What's something fun or funny art project that you are interested in exploring this year?
There is going to be a like alien, not the alien bar that we crawled to that we're all going to have to be hunting for now. There's going to be an art piece out there. The name is escaping me, but it's like a drive-through menu.
Okay.
And if it lights up and it's got buttons, I'm there to push them. So find some big green glowing thing and order your alien French fries or something. And I wonder what they're gonna say back to you, or what it's gonna be like.
I'm into it.
I remember
Yeah.
hearing about that. Yeah.
Alien fries sounds delicious right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah, it's
I'm
like an
getting hungry.
alien drive-through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a is there a fun or funny one?
Oh, for me, it's always the Billion Bunny March. Bring it on every single year. I am there. I always bring extra bunny ears so that people can, like pretend to be bunnies and be bunny imposters. But I love the Billion Bunny March. It's my favorite form of street theater.
I love the offshoots. I love the carrots.
The carrots.
Yeah.
Yes.
The animal control that comes and lassos you up afterwards and gives you vaccines.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Super cute.
Yeah.
Super cute.
Yeah, I love the Billion Bunny March is some of my favorite.
Dig it. Haley. Fun or funny?
Well, I forgot to mention whenever we were talking about the large scale stuff, but I think that this will work too. But the Paradisium forest, I should have, because she mentioned catharsis, I should have mentioned Paradisium because it's, if you guys remember, the Folly, which was absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. The saddest burn I've ever been to, because it was so gorgeous to watch all of that just turn to ashes. Was just, it was beautiful, but it was just, I was crying the whole time. But those wonderful people and all of the new artists, one of my tattoo artists, Annalie, is also a fantastic oil painter, and she's painting right now. She keeps posting on Instagram her mushrooms full of eyes. So you'll get to walk through the forest and just see all these like amazing little things hidden all over the place. And I'm sure they're going to have soundscapes and really cool lighting situations. It just seems like such a fun place to just go and explore.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The Folly, I think, got to be up there in like the top 5 most spectacular things that has ever been on the playa.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
well, that and the
absolutely.
shipwreck and the
shipwreck.
the shipwreck and the pier. Oh my God! I just going through that shipwreck and like going down in the
And it was so disorienting.
yeah, so
It was
disorienting.
great.
I love
so many details. They
So
did
many
such a
details.
good job. So I am also looking forward to Paradisium, and that's supposed to be like way out there.
Oh really?
Open playa. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, it is the year of the e-bike, I think. So
Yes, it is a year. Although I will say, if you take an e-bike out, they did say it's still 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So don't be speeding on your e-bike across the playa. They
Yeah.
will stop you. It's still only 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Heard
Yeah.
it here first. Please drive.
The
5
tickets are
miles an hour.
not cheap either.
Yeah.
Guys.
They're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
No.
And they can, and always remember, they can pull you over for speeding and get you for other things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They use that as a way,
Absolutely.
unfortunately.
I almost got
my favorite.
when I was like 24. I almost got a DOI on my bicycle, like in San Diego and Pacific Beach. So,
Whoa.
yeah, no, absolutely, fully, almost like I just literally the cop had to take off to go deal with something else. But like,
What was it? What happened?
it was 4th of July, and I was
Uh-huh.
bicycling back home, and I'd been drinking that day, and I was on the
I
boardwalk.
didn't know you could get a DUI on a
Yeah,
bike.
I didn't know that at all.
I guess
I mean, did you
so.
run into somebody?
No, no, I was
you
bicycling back.
swerving?
No, I was bicycling pretty fast though, because I was having a really good time.
You're just falling.
That's so
But
funny.
yeah, it's
They're
entirely
like,
yeah.
no.
Yeah,
Hey, heel.
it's entirely possible
You're
that he was fucking with me. But either way, like I got pulled over, and he was like, he started asking me, "Have you been consuming?" And he's like grilling me, like going at it for a while. And I was like, and then all of a sudden he got a radio call. He's like, "You got lucky," and he took off.
Wow, you got lucky.
So either way,
You got
this
lucky.
could have very much just been like one dude fucking with me. But if it's got a motor on it.
Yeah.
If you're getting pulled over in
Yeah,
desert,
yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
to say, like, if I can get pulled over on a regular bike in San Diego,
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get pulled over on an e-bike. on
Absolutely.
Playa.
Well,
So
with the berms and the unevenness from this last storm that they just had, that if the pictures are true,
yeah.
this is going to be a complicated year for riding around on the playa.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. The topography we're going to be dealing with has just been rained on, blown about, and shifted. So it's not that like was a lake in
It wasn't a flat,
February,
dusty thing anymore.
and then it just like all the water evaporated, it came
Yeah.
down and cracked, and now it's all hard packed. Oh no, we're probably looking at something pretty different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of hopefully DA's out there doing some doom busting right now.
God, I love DA. He
I
is
know, me too.
so great.
That was my favorite year on DPW, is being the resto assistant. That was super fun. We got to go dune busting like before.
Now, what does
for
dune
people.
busting entail?
So you take out the truck, and there's like a 2 chains that go to the back of about a 6 or 7 foot long 4x4, and you drive around with the 4x4 up on the back of the truck. But then whenever you get to a dune, you drop it down, and then you drive over the dune. And then the dune flattens out a little bit more. Of course, it's not going to be perfectly flat. But it's a really good way to make sure that there's not just a ton of, almost foot-high dunes sometimes. Because that'll totally flip
take you
you.
down.
If you're going too fast on your bike and you don't have a light projecting forward and you don't know it's coming, like you can get in some sticky situations. So everybody, please have a headlight on, because you're gonna really need it this year for the dunes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And we have almost no moon this year.
Yeah, exactly.
So being lit is super important. We're going to start with a new moon, and then by the end of the event, we're going to have a sliver.
Wow.
Like a quarter. Like it's not, we're not going to have illumination from the sky. No.
Deep playa is going to be pretty, though.
Deep playa is
Super
going to be
special.
pretty, and we're
Yeah.
going to have some serious stars.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, in all the years that I've done this pre-playa planner episode, this has got to be the most value-added recording I've ever had. Like, there's
got a moon schedule.
There's so many good tips and tricks happening on this episode. Like, this is excellent. You're all crushing it as guests. I just want to tell you that.
Thank you.
That's a good transition. So, gratitude and appreciation is an important part of our culture. I appreciate how well I was trained at my first burn by the people who would claim me as their virgin, and really like showing me how much to like appreciate and really like communicate thankfulness to all the different people that make Black Rock City happen. Like it's a habit that many of us have picked up in Black Rock City, and we take out into default, and it just makes your day, it makes everybody's day. Like I love that part of our culture. And I want to know what is a community, a volunteer group, someone on Playa who you would like to express gratitude and appreciation towards, who maybe you feel like isn't getting as much attention in the grand scheme of things as how much they do to make Black Rock City happen and to make our culture and safety and all this fun stuff happen. So
For me, it's ass.
Ass?
Ass.
Tell me about that ass.
Tell us about ass.
Yeah, you want to know about the ass?
Yeah.
Tell me
Tell me
about
about
that.
that.
Support
ass.
services.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Artist support services.
That's your camp, right, Arash?
No, I'm
No,
an art support camp.
Art support camp.
Yeah.
Totally
yeah.
different.
We will be utilizing the
Ask.
crap out of that ass, though, let me tell
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Get it.
Ew, not the crap out of the ass. Ew.
I appreciate everything coming from ass, let me tell you.
Yeah. But the artist support services, they're there for whatever you need. You need heavy machinery, you go talk to them. You need an extra volunteer, you go talk to them. Some electrical thing isn't working and your electrical guy is out and can't be bothered. You just go talk to them.
Yeah.
You need food, go talk to them. Like they're there to support you in whatever you need. They are the ultimate organization of fluffers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
man.
awesome.
I love that. I do appreciate ass.
And I have to say, Burning Man and their acronyms are incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do we think whoever comes up with the acronyms a
Right?
lot harder to?
Oh my God. Well, it's an art form.
Yeah.
The acronyms are an art form.
Absolutely.
It's like RIDE. It's like get on the ride. Everybody get on the ride. Radical inclusion, diversity, and equity.
Yeah. No,
Heat,
Heat.
heavy equipment, and transpo.
Absolutely. I've heard of like some organizations and companies that like make it a point to remove acronyms so that more departments can communicate with each other. And I would say, yeah, the opposite version of that is to make the acronyms really fucking entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another way that works too. Ginger Fox.
The mail system at the burn. We have, this isn't, I don't know exactly how important it is that we have mail, but every year I go and I deliver the mail for at least an afternoon, and it's doing something because there's mail to be delivered. And I just like that we're up to that. And then also the Rangers.
Yeah.
Gotta love the Rangers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Kudos and gratitude to the Rangers.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, the absolute, like, tons of appreciation to Rangers. I've been in multiple situations where I've had to, like, explain to folks, even, like, veteran burners who'd been to, like, multiple burns, like, it's okay. You can go to the Rangers, to your friends. Like, and we do, and save the day. And it's really, absolutely, I can't thank the Rangers enough.
And for people that don't know, the Rangers are the ones that walk around in khaki. They normally are in pairs. They're just walking the city, making sure that you're, safe, that you're not hurting yourself or others. If you or anybody you notice needs medical attention, go find a ranger. They have radios and they will help that person. They're your first line of help if you need any sort of help. Conflict resolution, man, they are great at that. I remember a year, I don't remember what year it was, but we had a neighbor that loved waking up to morning train at 5:00 in the morning, blasting through his sound system. And by like Wednesday, Thursday, we had people in our camp that wanted to kill that person. And it took some conflict resolution to come to an agreement that, yes, you can play morning train and loud enough for you to hear it, not for everyone around you to hear it at 5:00 in the morning. I was part of a circus camp, Red Nose District, and we'd been doing shows every night, so we need to sleep. and it just wasn't. It wasn't part of the communal effort of us all working together for the greater good of the whole.
No.
Yeah.
But we're all for him having his morning train in the morning.
Yeah.
So the Rangers helped you create that communal effort with your neighbor or other campmate or something.
Yeah. They helped resolve the conflict and come up with a resolution that we could all be happy with, and everyone
That's
got
cool.
along just fine after that.
Nice.
I didn't even realize you could do that. We just usually...
Figure it out.
There might have been
Or-
a hatchet involved.
Yeah. Fuck what they're
on
saying.
a-
might have-
on a cord somewhere.
A counter prank.
There might have
episode.
been sugar added to it.
Yeah, I can't say.
It was a rumor. I don't know
Yeah,
if that
I don't
actually
know.
happened. But the generator did
Yeah.
stop working.
Oh
There
my
was
gosh.
definitely less noise afterwards.
Yeah. Can't condone any of these things that might have allegedly
No,
happened.
you know what? They're all
no.
rumors. They're all playa
I can't
rumors.
confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Basically, the past 2 minutes of this podcast may or may not have happened.
Yeah. I
In
don't
fact, you could edit it right out.
Yeah.
No, fuck no. We're leaving that in there. Haley, gratitude, appreciation. What you got?
Oh, well, I mean, I've got to say survey. The survey crew are out there at the Golden Spike. I was very honored to be on that crew twice. And the amount of effort and work that goes into creating that, what comes from a map, it isn't a map because we're establishing the coordinates on the ground, but there's no shade. We are out there walking for miles every day for about 14 days, and it is like 14 or 16 people total who are creating everything from where the man goes and then radiating out all of those streets, all of those plazas, where the temple goes, and so that roadworks can come in and do their incredibly difficult job of staking out all of those roads so people can drive in the roads. Because when we get out there, it's literally nothing.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. And to see it start and transform from that like glassy moon surface to a full-blown city is amazing to watch from start to finish. And a lot of people don't know what all goes into how much planning and effort that the city has to go through in order to grow.
Yeah.
And that's the ground level.
Absolutely.
And they're amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, we spend a lot of time on this show expressing gratitude to all of these volunteers and all of the employees even, and all of the work that goes into making this happen. I can tell you, me personally, and this is a strong bias because like I'm not a technically inclined person, and I've said many times on this show, art cars.
Yeah.
People that bring out art cars.
Yeah.
Because in my experience over years of doing this show and just watching it in action, fucking art cars, man. The entire week you are tinkering with something on that damn thing.
Yeah, you are.
Something
And
or
the
another.
entire year beforehand
yeah.
and the years before that.
It is
like, it's
constant
amazing.
work. It is constant work. Like the
can't
entire
even.
time.
There's my I can't
There is
even.
your- yeah.
I
I
can't.
can't
I
even
just
art
can't
car.
even.
But art cars are like the coolest.
I know.
Yeah.
They are so cool. So,
Yeah.
so one art card that I'm looking forward to, super looking forward to, Dwayne Flatmo announced that he's building a new car. So El Pulpo Mecanico is now living in Austin at a raceway, at a Formula One racetrack. I mean, it's the perfect place for El Pulpo.
Which is so weird.
And it gave
love
him
it.
the ability to build another car.
Oh, hell yeah.
So he's been like posting
El
photos,
Pulpo's the best.
but you can't tell what it is or anything about it at all. It's just like some little pile of metal and this other little. And
Wow.
I just can't wait. I just El Pulpo Mecanico was my all-time favorite
All-time
art car,
favorite.
hand down. Don't even no
Yep.
competition.
No competition.
And he's bringing out something new.
Have you seen the iteration before El Pupo that was like part of the kinetic art like sculpture race? It's all colorful.
No.
Okay, when I find it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Because I just found it in like it was like on a even like some sort of BuzzFeed thing or something about kinetic art cars or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And I remember commenting on it, and I was like, is this like somehow related to El Pupo? Because there's totally like a multiple-eyed like a octopus, and it even had like the shrimp in the front, and like the seahorses, but they were all like colorful and like
interesting.
and like made out of like almost like plushy sort of stuff. And somebody was like, "Oh no, this is Flatmo's car."
Wow.
And I was like, and then Flatmo came on, and he was like, "Yeah, it's totally my car." I was like,
Oh my
how
god!
did I never know about this? It's
You have to
so
send me a
cool.
link.
I'll send it to you. It's amazing looking because it's
Wow.
like so different but so similar.
It's
So
amazing.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that, and I have no idea what it is. So it's just excitement.
So cool.
Like there's a whole
It's
bunch
so
of things
cool.
I'm excited to see, but I know the models or I've seen the
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah.
This is like
I can't wait.
nobody knows.
Yeah.
love it.
And he's so humble and
Mm.
like so rad, and everything's made out of like
Recycled
reclaimed
everything.
crap that he's turned into absolute gorgeous puppetry. And
The opposite side of that
Mm-hmm.
is Henry Chang. His cars are epic.
yeah.
The big steel.
oh, with the
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
wavy,
Wavy.
lines and stuff, and it's all like custom built like
also something
chassis.
sitting at Area 15.
Yeah, those things are
that
nuts.
Ohm
He's with
car?
Mirage Garage, right?
Yeah.
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 He's got several. Oh
Yeah.
my God! Did you see Dwayne made a little tiny El Pulpo when they were doing the fundraiser auction for Burning Man, for the survival of Burning Man when we couldn't like do Burning Man for 2 years, and they asked certain artists to donate things for an auction.
I gotta see this.
And Dwayne made a little El Pulpo.
What?
It was like tabletop El Pulpo.
Oh my God.
I bid on it.
That I
but
can't
I
even.
got way
Yeah.
outbid, like it was like way other
Yeah.
level. But it was the
as
Sotheby's
it
auction.
should.
It was that Sotheby's auction that they did.
Oh yeah.
And he made a baby El Popo.
Oh my god! If they made a baby El Popo and sold it in stores, I would go buy one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for real.
For real.
Oh my god.
And with a little crank.
Yeah, that's what I
It
was
had,
thinking.
no,
little
what I'm
crank.
saying is it had a crank.
Yeah. Oh
so
my
the eyes went, and the arms went, and it had a little crank.
No.
Yeah, like a Vitrola type
What?
of thing.
That's
That
amazing.
is adorable.
Yeah.
Right on the mantle.
I want to know a favorite bar or bar substitute that you like going to on Playa. That's like one of your like go-tos. I'm gonna go grab a drink here and sit down. Yes.
Well, for me, and I will be there, is hanging out at Black Rock Yearbook.
All right.
Because you go there and everybody's dressed in like their Playa best because they're getting ready to get their yearbook picture taken. And everybody's like standing in line, dressed to the nines, waiting to get their yearbook picture taken. And there's a great bar with some fun cocktails. And they have like either alcohol or non-alcohol, but you meet like really interesting people. And I love burner fashion.
Yeah.
So you just get to see all of this great burner fashion, and then of
Well,
course
that's a
it
good
shows
tip.
up in a big
Yeah.
big book.
You know, fun fact, we talked about fashion burners quite a bit on the interview that you and I did.
Yeah.
And like broke down that whole concept. That was a fun one.
That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great people watching place.
It's a great people watching place. We're going to be at 5:30 in A plug,
Mm.
right near Center Camp. Come get your yearbook picture taken, dressed to the nines,
Nice.
and but for me that's just, I'm not a big drinker. That I don't.
Yeah.
So bars for me isn't a big deal. For me, it's more the people watching.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so
Totally.
people come there with like unbelievable costumes on to get their yearbook picture taken.
Yeah.
That sounds rad.
I gotta tell you, for me, like bars, and I kind of like hinted at this earlier. It's finding this quiet, dark little like dive bar out on one of the further out like suburb streets has always been like one of my favorite experiences.
Well, yeah.
It's just amazing.
Like voted best camp.
Tell me about that.
You don't know about voted best camp?
No. Wait, maybe I do.
It's
I think I do know the story.
it's my fave.
Okay. Tell me about what it
So,
does camp.
It's like a skate park.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a ramp. The last couple of years, they actually have the craziest thing. I want to do it so bad, but every single time I went, they didn't have somebody manning it at the time or something. But it's like an actual little like U of a roller coaster. So you strap yourself in and
Oh
you
my
go
gosh.
on this like U of a roller coaster, and it swings you back, and it is straight the fuck down. and then straight the fuck up, and then you go back and forth.
Why am I a yes to that but no to a seesaw?
I don't. Well, because you're strapped.
It's still conceptual.
In,
So if they strap you into the seesaw, would you be okay?
Oh no.
But my favorite part about it is the fact that they are always blasting some form of punk rock, metal. Just it's so nice to just hear some actual music instead of just a metronome sometimes. I mean, there's good
You don't like
DJ
boot in the
music.
dryer?
What's that?
You don't like boot in the dryer?
I don't like boot in the dryer. I don't like fax machines trying to rape each other. I'm sorry. No. Neither one of these things, in my opinion, are music, people. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. And there are great people who are awesome, awesome, awesome DJs that I love. It's not that I do not like DJs. It's just that the DJs that I like actually put music in their sets and not just the boot in the dryer with a metronome with the fax machines trying to fuck each other. I don't get it. I don't understand. So, voted best camp. As soon as you start to get close to it, you start hearing the dulcet tones of anything from Ozzy to the Cramps. And then you show up and they just have the shittiest fucking alcohol and you don't care. Yeah. And you scratch your name into the bar. And it's just like, it's totally my jam. Yeah, like that's how I grew up going to all my punk rock bars, and I have a punk rock background. So
I love it.
I'm super, super dig it every year.
Yeah.
Super all over that.
Spanky's is also always a good bar.
Yeah. I always end up
Spanky's
there.
wine bar.
One of the regular.
Where's that one again?
Where? I don't know where it's going to be this year.
Okay, because voted best is
I don't know.
because voted best camp is always in the same place.
Sometimes I feel like no one's in the same place this year.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was like a dartboard placement thing going on.
Oh.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Everybody that I know was like, they put me where?
Oh, yeah, we are in a completely different place.
No, I think everybody,
Way different.
like I said, I think it was sort of a dartboard
Gotcha.
placement game this year. Because you're just like, where are we going to put this one? I don't know. That's where it's going to go.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like when you get your college dorm room roommate, and it's like, how did they put us two together?
Yeah.
They just
Why?
shuffled the
Why would they? Yeah.
applications.
Why would they do that?
They just doled them out like poker.
I love that. I am all over that. That sounds exciting.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's
just
a
like a
good
big adventure
shake-up.
every time.
You know what it is when you have to pack in so much more than you're used to packing in, you have to do it creatively. And so they got really creative this year.
Yeah, we're coming up on our last question here. I'm sorry, Ginger Fox, bar or bar replacement?
The bar that I'm looking forward to getting into or on is that traveling tiki bar art car. There have been so many years that I've watched it roll by while I'm on, a neighbor's porch or something. I'm like, I want to get on that, and then you're like, what am I doing? Where's my backpack?
This is not the naked tiki bar. This is
I'll take it.
okay.
And
Yeah.
if I have to be naked to get on it, okay.
There is a
do
naked
this.
tiki bar that I've had some deep personal emotional conversations at, butt naked.
Nice. Is
Yeah.
that a
No,
traveling one too?
Yeah, I'm
Like
sorry?
an art car?
No, this is like this is a stationary bar.
Oh, okay.
There's no wheels on it that I
She's
knew
talking
of.
about the
one you're
that
describing.
The one that moves
around.
around.
Has wheels
Yeah.
on it.
Now I have two
Yeah.
tiki bars that I need to
Now
find.
you have to attend
Totally.
to.
And I love
Yeah.
tiki. I
know,
just
right?
do. Tiki's
Yeah.
so much fun.
I can dig that. I'm gonna do our last couple of ones here. Real quick, one personal self-care tip:
BioFreeze.
BioFreeze.
What is that?
So BioFreeze is a awesome mentholated. You can get it in a spray, which I actually. That's what I'm promoting. And this is not a paid endorsement. But what I love about it is I spray it on my feet to cool my feet down before I put my socks and shoes on, especially before I'm about to work, so that my feet feel cool. But also it's great for if you have muscle aches, you can rub it into your muscles. My mom was a massage therapist, and she always had BioFreeze. Anytime I ever had an issue, she would always be like, BioFreeze, rub it in.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, and it just cools you down. You can put it on the back of your neck too. That's another way to cool yourself down quickly. So just carry a can of that around with you anywhere you go, and if you feel overheated, it's a good way to do that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And earplugs. Oh my
Earplugs,
gosh.
earplugs.
What was
Like-
that second one?
Earplugs.
Ear-
Okay,
Earplugs.
gotcha.
And earplugs, and I'm talking earplugs when you are at the sound system, guys. People are putting the decibels way too high at all these festivals this year. I have been absolutely just appalled. I'm like, you are ruining an entire generation
Yeah.
of ears right now because you guys want to make it as loud as possible.
You know, we buy we get expensive playa coats and
Yeah.
we get like the
Yeah.
expensive shoes but nobody thinks about going and getting actual musician plugs.
Yeah.
And I actually went and did that several years ago, and I still use the same ones.
Nice.
They mold your ear,
Yep.
and then you tell them how many decibels you want to take it down. And I did the full. But you can still hear people talking. It just takes down the
Yep.
music decibels.
And you can get those
Great. They're
and
like
you-
$100
But you can get like $20 ones
Yeah.
that have the silicone that goes into your ear that has a channel that you can open up so that you can still hear voices.
Yeah.
But at least it's protecting your ears from the sound. But also at night, like
Sleeping.
sleeping, put some earplugs in, guys. Get some rest.
Or whenever you decide to sleep. It
Yeah.
might be the middle of the day. But just
That's a
try
fucking
try
excellent
to
tip.
get some
yeah,
rest.
the earplugs are great.
I have some great earplugs that I literally forget every single time when I leave the house. So I'm gonna go strap it, tape it to my door so I remember it this
Put
year.
your earplugs
on my
with your
belt.
ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Well, I
Just hang
forgot
it
my
on your
ticket one year
belt.
too, so I don't know if
Oh shit!
I totally made fun of people for forgetting their tickets and then I forgot.
My biggest
sucks.
self care. I was gonna say something else, but now I'm gonna say this one.
Dude.
There's two things everybody needs to do. One is before you leave your house, you have your friends with you. You're all getting in the car and you're getting ready to leave whatever that house is. Everybody show everybody else your ticket, and if you have a will call, have a printout of your QR code, and everybody show everybody else that you have it.
Yeah, yeah.
Before you get in the car
Smart.
and
Yeah.
drive away to go to the airport or
Yeah.
to go if you're driving, if you're in the US and you're driving straight there,
Totally.
show everyone that you have your ticket
Yeah.
so that you don't do what you
Yeah.
did, which is
Yeah.
I had somebody in a car with me one time. We get all the way to the gate. Gate's going through our car. We're pulling out our tickets. We go to show them and the guy's like, I don't know where my ticket is. I can't find my ticket. And then he goes, it's on my fridge. And we had to go back to Gerlach so we could have phone signal so we could call somebody and show them how to break into his house to get his ticket. I left his ass in Gerlach. I went back in and he dealt with getting his ticket 2 days later. So he missed 2 days of the event.
Holy crap!
But he did get his ticket again. But that's how you don't forget your ticket.
Yeah.
The other thing I have to say is when you're driving up the 447, you haven't even gotten to Burning Man yet. Don't speed.
Yes, do not speed,
Do
you
not
guys.
speed and
Do
turn
not
it into a
speed.
game with all your
Yep.
friends in your car.
Yep.
So that every time you see a speed limit sign, somebody shouts it out, and the first person that shouts it out gets a point.
Yeah.
I like that.
And the person with the most points when you get to the gate wins a prize. I don't know what the prize is. Figure that out. But the person with the most points wins a prize. Do it on the way back too. But do not speed on the 447. It's super expensive.
Yep.
And those speed limits will go from 70 to 25 in less than a mile.
Oh my god, it's
So you got to
insane.
pay attention.
Also another one that I have that is related to that one. We got pulled over in 2018.
Yeah.
2018. We got pulled over and they literally opened up the ice chest and the cops stuck their fingers in the peanut butter.
Wow.
So if you have peanut butter and you want to eat it, remember to either keep it completely sealed or whatever, because that is where people hide stuff, and you will not have peanut butter.
They're looking, and that's an
interesting.
important tip because a lot of times.
Never thought of that as a hiding
Yeah,
place.
yeah. It's an important tip because a lot of times folks get in their heads with the story of oh, they're only looking for this kind of thing, or they're not in this particular situation. I'm not going to speak on behalf of all bureaucracies and all law enforcement all over the world, but in this particular route, they're looking for the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get things off of a checklist. We got pulled over. I don't remember. They're the guy immediately got on our RV and he's like, I pulled you over because the back tail light is blah, blah, blah. I don't remember. Some
bullshit
bullshit
thing.
excuse. And immediately, he was just getting through that sentence as fast as possible so that he could point at me and go, do you have any medical marijuana? and then pointed to my next person, do you have any medical marijuana? And they kept making it a point to say medical marijuana because they were trying to trick you into saying, well, yeah, I have my card for it. It's legal. But at that point, we already crossed borders.
Yeah.
And that was going to be...
And it is legal in Nevada, but it is not legal on Playa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember, guys, do not go around smoking it. Do not bring out a joint. The cops are going to be out in droves, and they are undercover. Do not accept anything from anybody that you do not know. Do not get on an art car offering free massages and water. That is another way that they catch you. It is not cool.
Really?
Yes.
Free massages and water.
Free massages and water. That is how they catch newbies. It's shaped like a wagon. It used to be. I don't know.
Oh, this is a very specific art card.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had one.
They had one, and that was how they caught a lot of newbies who were just like.
But
"Oh,
just in
yeah."
general, for personal safety,
do not
do
accept.
not take.
Yeah.
Don't
if it's a
accept stuff.
sanctioned bar, if
Yeah.
it's a food camp, like you can
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah.
Joe, whatever, walking across the playa, handing out bottles of water, don't take it.
No.
Don't
And do
take
not
it.
buy anything from anybody.
Yeah,
I do
don't buy
not
anything
care.
from
I do
anybody.
not
You're
care.
a Burning Man.
Yeah.
The only thing you should be buying is ice.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
They don't even
Nothing.
have coffee this year.
Nope.
Yeah. It's just ice,
Actually,
guys.
what's going to be at Center Camp where the cafe was is everywhere. The regional network is going to have their information center there
Nice.
so people
Nice.
can
good.
learn about the regional network.
That's where that does belong.
That is
right
where
there
that
at
does
Center
belong,
Camp.
right there at Center
Right.
Camp. Yeah.
Ginger
Not
Fox.
hidden around the corner.
Self-care tip.
Self-care tip. I am somebody who loves to sleep, and when you're
What?
out there, oh, it's true.
Me
It's
too.
true.
Me too.
I can just pass out whenever I want to.
I don't have that.
Magic
ability.
It is a magic ability. I do believe in you. We can all do this. You have to listen to your body, and when you feel like sleep is coming on, tell the little party animal inside of you, I will party with you later. It's time for a nap. And then go do your thing. So take sleep. When sleep comes knocking, go for it.
It's an opportunity.
It is an
Yeah.
opportunity to find rest.
Yeah.
Because how does the saying go? Drugs are not sleep, whiskey is not food, and beer is not water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very true. All three very true things.
Yes.
That's so good. I love that. That's great. Okay. I want to...
And that's directly from a ranger's mouth.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. I want to wrap here. This has been amazing. Some sort of experience or activity that you are looking forward to this year that does not fall into any category of anything at all. I can tell you literally for me, every year I forget, and then I remember when I'm doing it, what a powerful and important spiritual experience it is for me to just walk around on Playa alone one
Yes.
night.
Yes.
Like walk in wherever, open playa, deep playa, somewhere, and I'm lit, of course, don't get run over, but just walking around under the sky alone, and just really remembering where I am and everything that it took for me to get here and everything I have to look forward to, and just be with myself for a while.
That's a
under
great one.
that perfect desert sky. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I want to know what, if anything, y'all have. It could be camp connected, personal experience, anything. Let's start with you, Haley.
Can you ask the question one more time?
What is an activity or experience that you are looking forward to that does not fall into any category of art projects or bars or dance floors or anything at all?
I love seeing people's ingenuity. It is like, to me, that is really what Burning Man is all about, is the fact that you are going out there to a completely blank slate, and every single aspect other than the weather and the ground that you're walking on is built by humans.
Yeah.
And how unique of an experience that is. Because anywhere you go in the rest of the world, you are always constantly around like, oh, well, this was obviously, these trees are built by the trees, and all of the nests are built by the birds, and all these things. Like, to see the human ingenuity in its like most stripped down form, but in its most creative, is just an awe-inspiring experience. Because a city based in creativity is something that we have the privilege of being a part of.
Yeah.
And not everybody gets to have that.
Absolutely. Athena, what do you have?
I love the whiteouts. I really love the whiteouts. I have some just epic whiteout stories. I have met some of the most amazing people during whiteouts. I feel like the whiteout is all the connections happening all at once. And it forces you to stop wherever you are. It's kind of like, pick up sticks where everything gets thrown up and you have to stop wherever you are, and the two sticks that are closest to each other, then you meet. And you don't know how long you're going to be together, and you don't know how long you're going to talk to this person, and you don't know exactly what's going to happen, and it could be 8 hours, and you see somebody off in the distance, and you're like, no, come to safety over here. We have shelter. And then you're the 3 people that are there for the next 4 hours, 2 hours, 8 hours. I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
And you just have to be. I remember, there's so many great stories, but the one that really sticks with me is I was hunkered down in just like a little tent with one other person, and we saw these people in the distance, and we waved them over, and it ended up being the violinist from Flogging Molly's and the drummer from somebody else, and she had her instrument, and we got a 5-gallon bucket for a drum, and a couple other musicians. We were in this tiny little 8x14 tent, and we ended up doing an amazing jam. And that whiteout was like 4 hours long, and I'm making food for everybody and drinks, and we had our own little thing going on, and it was just an amazing experience. So when you see the whiteouts, don't be like, oh no, it's a whiteout, it's going to ruin everything. No. This is an opportunity to open yourself up to all possibilities that are directly in front of your face, because you can't see past there.
That's spectacular.
That is like the number one immediacy.
Absolutely.
The whiteout is like this immediate moment right now. That's all you get.
Absolutely. Wow. That was really good.
Yeah.
What do you got?
The experience I always look forward to every year is when you get past gate and you begin down the road into the city. And you want to get there. You want to get into this city. But if you stay all the way to the right, somebody has taken the time to put up these signs full of poetry and wisdom that sets the tone for the burn that you're going to have. And if you are ahead of yourself, if you are rushing, you are going to miss this opportunity to sink in and be prepared through this last bit of the rite of passage into Black Rock City. So do it 5 miles an hour. Read every sign. If I'm the passenger, I do the reading.
Yeah, read it out loud.
Yeah, read it out loud. If I'm driving, I have my passenger do the reading. And
I love those signs.
yeah, and
I know, they're so great.
there's something just really sweet about being read to.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
And we're in this.
Burma shaves.
Yeah, it's so cool. I love that
I love
experience.
that. That is
Especially Larry
spectacular.
used to write them all the time, and,
Oh, yeah.
and he always came up with some really cool ones. And all the ladies and the gents who make the signs put forth so much energy into like designing them with like cool fonts and spacing them out appropriately and everything. I love them.
That's
I agree.
beautiful. Cool. Thank you all so much. This has been an absolutely amazing recording. I've learned a ton. I really, really appreciate how much work all of you put into preparing for this, and this is absolutely amazing. And I'm more excited than I've ever been. It's going to be an amazing, amazing burn. And I really, really appreciate a lot of like the stuff that we talked about in today's episode is like stuff that we can listen to multiple years from now, and it's just this time capsule. Like this is just perfect. So thank you for all the work that you all do for the community. Thank you for all your volunteer work. Thank you for being amazing participants in our community and in our culture, and thank you for just overall being amazing human beings. And I am looking forward to geeking out about all this when I run into you again in the dust.
And don't forget, this year's theme is Waking Dreams.
Yeah.
So let's wake up.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. You are now listening to the sounds of the Burner Podcast theme song, actually, by Joe Man. There's usually a DJ set playing here right now, but we're not playing it because Haley doesn't like DJs. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's not what's happening.
Keep your fax machines away from me.
Usually there's a DJ set playing here, but it's not today. Do check the show notes. I just really wanted to bring attention to that. Usually the show notes are kind of like, just some basic links and stuff, but today's show notes are going to have a ton of information and multiple playlists. And go over to burnerpodcast.com/roadtrip2022. where you will see links to a bunch of Spotify playlists, lots of music to listen to, some art project links, basically a bunch of stuff that'll be interesting and useful for your road trip or flight or whatever mode of transportation to Burning Man 2022. Please do leave us a review on iTunes or your podcast platform of choice, or message us if you want to support the show by contributing in any fashion, and you are always invited to pitch interviews in your neck of the woods. All of these links are over at burnerpodcast.com, where you'll also find links to other cool audio content. Our producers are Louis Gallipo in Canada, Michael Seth Prell in Austin, Texas. The Burner Podcast theme song, America's Horse with No Name Remix, is produced by Joman out of Denver, Colorado. He is over at soundcloud.com/DJ And if you made it this far, come to Camp Perky Parts at 715 and G on Thursday night, where from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. we'll be hosting a Burner Podcast alumni happy hour. Lots of folks that I've interviewed over the years will be convening and being merry and shit. That's at Camp Perky Parts, 715 and G, Thursday night, 6:30 to 9:30. You can find me napping during the day at 715 and E at the Art Support Camp, Camp ASAP. So until next time, love, light, and all that other crap. See you on the playa.
First thing I met was a fly with the balls and the sky with no clouds. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no name. Remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain.
burnerpodcast.com.